Chapter 14. Chemical Effects of Current. We will learn conductors and insulators, electrical conductivity, electrolysis, electroplating, electrolytic refining. Try to answer. Why electric wires are generally made of copper? Why is it advised to wear rubber slippers while handling electrical switches at home? All the matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. An atom itself is made up of three tiny kinds of particles called subatomic particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. Electrons are negatively charged particles, protons are positively charged particles, and neutrons do not have any electrical charge. The total charge of an atom is neutral. The protons and the neutrons make up the center of the atom called the nucleus, and the electrons revolve around the nucleus in an orbit. The negative charge or electrons that flow through a conducting material such as a metal wire is known as an electrical charge. The flow of electrical charge through a conductor constitutes an electric current. The basic conditions required for an electric current to flow are: a device to produce an electric current like cell, battery, or a plug point acting as a source. A conducting wire made up of metals such as copper or aluminium which allows electric current to flow through them easily. An unbroken loop of the wire running from one terminal to the other terminal through various appliances. Conductors and insulators. All materials do not allow electric current to pass through them. Based on this ability, materials are divided into two categories: conductors and insulators. Materials that allow electricity to flow through them are called conductors. Since all metals are good conductors of electricity, therefore, all electrical wires are made up of metals. For example, metals such as copper, silver, gold, and aluminium are good conductors of electricity. Graphite is the only non-metal which conducts electricity. Materials that do not allow electricity to pass through them are called insulators. Some common insulators are glass, air, plastic, cotton, wood, and rubber. As insulators do not conduct electricity, they are used to protect us from the dangerous effects of electricity. Without the help of insulators, the use of electrical appliances is impossible. Activity. Aim: to make a tester and to check for conductors and insulators. Materials required: a cell, insulated copper wire, a small bulb, and a few sample materials such as iron, copper, plastic, wood, and glass. Procedure: make an electric circuit consisting of a bulb and a battery connected through insulated copper wires. Now bring the free ends of the wires of the tester in contact with two ends of the materials that are to be tested. And record your observation with respect to whether the bulb glows or not. Observation: the bulb will glow if the object we touch with the free ends of the wire is a conductor, and the bulb will not glow if it is an insulator. Conclusion: this way we will be able to classify various materials as conductors and insulators. Electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity is defined as a measure of the ability of a material to allow the flow of an electric current. Materials that are good conductors of electricity have high electrical conductivity. Some liquids, but not all, are also good conductors. A liquid with a good conductivity is called an electrolyte, and the one which is incapable of conducting electricity is called a non-electrolyte. Let us study the electrical conductivity of some common liquids. Electrical conductivity of water. Pure water or distilled water is a poor conductor of electricity. But the presence of even small amount of impurities makes water a good conductor. Hence, water from taps, wells, ponds, rivers, seas, lakes, etc. conduct electricity as they contain impurities in the form of salts. That is why we get electrical shock when we touch the conducting parts of electrical appliances with wet hands. So we should never touch the conducting parts of electrical devices with wet hands and feet. Do you know? Under certain conditions, most materials can conduct electricity. So it is preferable to classify materials as good conductors and bad conductors of electricity instead of conductors and insulators. Electrical conductivity of other liquids. Most of the liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of acids, bases and salts. Lemon juice, lime water, vinegar, aqueous sodium chloride and aqueous potassium chloride are a few examples. Activity. Aim: to test the electrical conductivity of lemon juice and vinegar. Materials required: to plastic bottle caps, a cell, insulated copper wire, lemon juice, vinegar and a light-emitting diode, LED. Procedure: arrange the setup as shown in the figure. Now take a small amount of lemon juice in a plastic bottle cap and dip the free ends of the copper wire into it, keeping them 1 centimeter apart. Make sure that the two wires do not touch each other while you are doing so. Repeat the same procedure with vinegar. Observation: the LED will glow in each case. Conclusion: lemon juice and vinegar are good conductors of electricity. While testing the conductivity of liquids, we find that the bulb does not glow as brightly as with metals. This is because liquids are not such good conductors of electricity as metals. Sometimes the current flowing may be too less for the bulb to glow. Therefore, to test the electrical conductivities of different liquids, we use a light-emitting diode, LED, that lights up even if the current flowing through it is very small. There are two wires, called leads, attached to an LED. One lead is slightly longer than the other. The longer lead is connected to the positive terminal of the battery and the shorter one to the negative terminal. Effect of impurities on electrical conductivity of water. Electric current requires freely moving charged particles. These charged particles are also referred to as charge carriers. In metals, the charge carriers are electrons. In liquids, the charge carriers are generally ions. Ions are atoms or group of atoms with a positive or a negative charge. These ions cause electrical conduction through the liquid. For example, if we pass an electric current through pure water, it will not conduct electricity, but when salt is added to it, they will form ions which conduct the electricity. Tap water conducts electricity. This is because tap water is not a pure form of water and has salts dissolved in it. Electrolysis. The process of decomposition of a chemical compound in a solution when an electric current passes through it is called electrolysis. The solution that conducts electricity due to the presence of ions is called an electrolyte. Two electrodes are inserted in the solution and are connected to the terminals of a battery with a switch in between. This arrangement is called an electrolytic cell. The electrode that is connected to the positive terminal of the battery is called the anode, and the other connected to the negative terminal is called the cathode. The electrolyte contains ions, which are charged. The positively charged ions are called cations and the negatively charged ions are called anions. Cations, being positively charged, get attracted to the negatively charged cathode and move towards it. On the other hand, anions, being negatively charged, get attracted towards the positively charged anode and move towards it. This is how ions move in an electrolyte and thus conduct electric current. A chemical reaction takes place at the electrodes. The reaction depends on the metals of which the electrodes are made and the electrolyte used. As a result of this reaction, we may observe bubbles at the electrodes due to production of gases, deposition of metal on the electrodes, or change in the color of the electrolyte. These are some of the chemical effects of the electric current. Let us understand this by taking an example. Dissolve a small quantity of common salt, NaCl, in pure water. On dissolving in water, it forms ion of sodium and chlorine. NaCl gives Na plus Cl minus. Now, take this salt solution in a beaker and set up it as shown in the given figure and allow the electric current to flow into the circuit. Such an arrangement is called an electrolytic cell. Thus, electrolysis of a solution of sodium chloride, NaCl, produces hydrogen gas, H2, at the cathode, chlorine gas, Cl2, at the anode, and sodium hydroxide, NaOH, in the solution. Activity. Aim: to demonstrate the effect of electric current on water. Materials required: beaker, to iron nails, wires, battery, water, salt and sulfuric acid. Procedure: take 2 iron nails. Wrap 1 or 2 rounds of copper wire around them and connect the other ends of the wires to the 2 terminals of an electric battery. Take water in a beaker and add to it a little salt or a few drops of sulfuric acid. Immerse both the nails, they act as electrodes, in the beaker and observe what happens. Observation: you will observe bubbles around the nails. The bubbles are of the gases evolved from water. Conclusion: the electric current breaks down the water molecule into its constituent gases, that is, hydrogen and oxygen, which can be seen near the nails. The hydrogen gas is liberated at the cathode, while oxygen gas is liberated at the anode. This proves that the current has a chemical effect on water, bringing about a chemical change. Electrolysis is used extensively for commercial purposes such as extraction of metals, purification of metals, and electroplating. Electroplating. The most common application of electrolysis is electroplating. Electroplating is a process of coating a thin metal layer, such as gold, silver, chromium, tin or nickel over another cheaper metal by passing an electric current. This is done either to protect the metal against corrosion or to make it look attractive. In this process, the metal to be used for coating is chosen as the anode and the object to be electroplated is chosen as the cathode. The electrolyte is a salt of the anode metal which gets dissociated into its respective ions. On passing electric current, the positive ions are called cations and the negative ions are called anion. The current in the solution is due to the flow of these ions. On passing the electric current, the anions move towards the anode and the cations move towards the cathode. The cations are converted into atoms at the cathode and form a thin layer on it, which we call electroplating. To compensate for the loss of ions in the solution, the atoms of the anode dissociate into the solution, forming the ions. Therefore, the anode slowly dissolves into the solution and a layer of metal gets deposited on the cathode. Let us perform an activity to understand the concept of electroplating. Activity. Aim: to observe electroplating of copper on stainless steel. Materials required: copper sulfate solution, copper strip or copper rod, 2 wires, a battery, beaker, and an object to be electroplated, stainless steel spoon. Procedure: take copper sulfate solution in a beaker. Connect the spoon to be electroplated, acts as the cathode, to negative terminal of the battery using a connecting wire. Similarly, connect the copper rod, acts as the anode, to the positive terminal of the battery using a connecting wire to form a circuit. Now dip them in the copper sulfate solution in a beaker and record your observation. Observation: once the circuit is connected, the process gets started and after some time, it is seen that the spoon gets a coating of copper. Conclusion: the positively charged copper ions move towards the cathode and the spoon is electroplated. Uses of electroplating. Electroplating is done for many purposes. Here are a few examples. Electroplating is done in industries to have an anti-reactive coating on the parts of machines so that they do not react with the raw material, to have an anti-corrosive coating for the machines so that they do not get corroded, and to have a heat-resistive coating for parts like boilers to resist the heat produced by the machinery. Water pipes, which are made of iron, are coated with a layer of zinc metal by the process of electroplating. Zinc is less reactive than iron and thus prevents the iron pipe from getting rusted. Rims of wheel of cycle, cars, etc. are electroplated with chromium metal. Layer of chromium metal gives them a shiny appearance and prevents from rusting. Tin cans used for storing food are made of iron electroplated with a coat of tin. Tin is less reactive than iron and prevents food packed in them from getting spoiled. Gold plating is one of the most common applications of electroplating in ornament making. Electrolytic refining. Electrolysis is used in the refining of pure metals from the impure one by a process called electrolytic refining. Metals such as silver, nickel, gold and copper are refined by this method. In this method, an electric current is passed through a solution called electrolyte that contains dissolved metal ions. This causes the dissolved metals ions to deposit onto the negatively charged cathode. Here is how the purification of copper is carried out. Take an impure copper rod as anode and a thin sheet of pure copper as cathode in an electrolytic cell containing acidified solution of copper sulfate as electrolyte. On passing an electric current through the electrolyte, the impure copper dissolves into the solution and pure copper metal gets deposited at the cathode. The impurities that collect below the anode are collectively called as anode mud. Thus, pure copper is obtained at the cathode. Keywords: electric current, the flow of electrical charge through a conductor. Electrical conductivity, a measure of the ability of a material to allow the flow of an electric current. Electrolyte, a liquid with a good conductivity. Electrolysis, a process of decomposition of a chemical compound in a solution when an electric current passes through it. Electroplating, a process of coating a thin metal layer over another metal by passing an electric current.